We're here with ALex Malarkey. We wanted to have a little bit of an exit interview since this is his senior year, and we realize a lot of people don't know quite what Alex's experiences have been. So I'm going to ask my first question. Alex, can you explain to us what happened to you? Explain the accident.
Well, you can sum it up by saying basically my head was ripped off my spine, but my spine was basically cut off from my head completely, and my brainstem was basically obliterated.
And this was during a car accident?
Yep.
How old were you?
6.
Okay, so let's talk about your high school experience. Explain how that high school experience has been for you.
Very, very awesome. Even just being able to be around people, because before school, after the accident, we were by ourselves at the house, basically every day, all year.
And how do you deal with your mom tagging along with you everywhere you go in high school?
It's a bit much at times.
Are you happy to have her, though?
I'm very, very happy. It's very helpful.
What's your favorite day of the week?
Friday.
Friday, because it's a holiday. Every Friday's a holiday when you're ALex Malarkey. You get to go home for the weekend. Tell me about being warm.
Oh, I love being warm. Hot, actually. I love being hot. Oh.
Why does being warm make you feel so good?
Mostly I hate the cold. I hate the cold. I can't stand it.
What does, because most people don't really understand what you can feel and what you can't feel. So explain that a little bit more.
I feel basically nothing. All I feel is a little bit of space on my chin. I feel a little bit on my cheeks and most of my forehead, and that's pretty much it.
So then explain why being warm makes you feel so happy.
Oh. That everything hurts when I'm cold. Even though I don't feel stuff, it's just, my head hurts, and I just feel really tired. I hate being cold. Oh.
Okay, Alex, so walk us through, no pun intended, walk us through a normal day in your life, like a normal school day.
I wake up at 4:45, and then did my chair, and get ready to get up in my chair. It takes about 4.5 hours, and then we'll get here, do school till the end of the day. I get here like third period, and then get home, stand at my table, and then while I'm standing, do homework, and then usually do homework till it's time to get ready for bed at like 8:15, and go to bed around 10.
Okay, so you mentioned a tilt table. Can you describe the tilt table and why you do that?
Well, because I don't stand at all, goal is my bone density can get very bad, so we used to have a stand frame which just I sat in it and then it just went straight up, but since my back surgery, my circulation got worse, so I can't handle that anymore, so now we have a tilt table which just trains up slowly, so I can stand, and I usually do that for an hour and a half, 2 hours.
And you said that's when you usually start your homework. You do your homework that whole time? Yeah. You always have homework, don't you?
Usually last night was easier, and today hopefully will be easier.
Has your senior year been a little bit easier as far as schoolwork goes?
No, not even close. It's probably been worse than last year.
If you had to compare the amount of time it takes you to do, like, the average assignment compared to what you think everybody else spends on it, what would you say?
Well, it depends. Like, certain things, like obviously with your class, studied every day for pretty much the whole year. So part of it is just I put more into it than a lot of people. But I probably say for the average assignment takes me 2 to 3 times longer than the average person.
Okay. I want you to reflect on high school, and can you think of like maybe your favorite memory from high school? Is there anything that stands out to you?
On those specific things, but overall, like I was actually thinking about this the other day when school finishes and when everyone says enjoy school, I say I have enjoyed school. I've really liked school and being around people, but it's so much work. And to end up at 4:45 is never easy.
So you said it takes you about 4.5 hours to get up and get in your chair. I think a lot of people don't even know what that's all about. So what about like little things? Like, here's a silly question: do you eat or do you have a feeding tube?
Well, I do have a feeding tube, but I don't use it that anymore. It's just like it's actually an advantage because like medicines that taste bad or stuff, I can just have it put into my belly directly, so I won't have to taste it. But yeah, I eat pretty much everything.
What's your favorite food?
Steak, barbecued ribs, something unhealthy. I don't like healthy stuff.
So he doesn't like healthy stuff, but he likes to eat a lot of meat. That's what we got on that one. Okay. How about talking about plans for life after high school?
Right now, the whole horizon after. The only thing that's for certain after school right now is sports watching, and much more of it because I won't have as strict a sleep schedule. But other than that, I don't know. I hope college. I really hope to move to Florida one day, but that's it.
As far as college goes, are you thinking doing something online, or do you want to, get up and go be with people during the day?
Well, with the whole being on people for school thing, my goal would be to find something out eventually to be able to go to someplace, actually be around people. That's why I want to go to Florida eventually, maybe start something later. But I mean, I'll probably have to start online somehow. I don't know.
And area of study, what are you thinking?
Numbers, money, like probably Italian, and Italian. I'd love to be an Italian.
All right. There's something else I was going to ask you. What about prom? What are you thinking? Prom, yes or no?
I would love to. I've been trying to convince mom for 2 years because I know how it goes till really late at night, and I know how late in the year it is. So I tried to say, Mom, just one night, please. Let me go all night. We'll finish. We'll get home and get to bed like 4:30 a.m. Just one night in my life, please. But I don't know. It's not looking good.
We'll work on her. We'll see what we can get to happen. It'll be magical for you, Alex, I think, for sure. Any last things? I know that we talked before about maybe some pet peeves that you've had, now that you've been doing this for a while. What are some things that bother you?
At school?
Just in general.
Well, yeah, I don't like when people stare at me. And I really don't like when people like the stereotypes. Stereotypes are one of my least favorite things in the world, and I especially hate when people just naturally make the boy in a wheelchair with tubes. Um, a stereotype, especially like when I'm at a store or something, and like a kid will walk up like 3 years old or something, stare, and their parent will rush them away. I love them to ask questions, so I can't stand when people mainly like an object. I'm a person.
So you would rather, if people feel like they need to stare, you would rather they just ask you what happened or what's your situation?
Yeah, and I get offended by nothing, so don't be afraid of.
That is something I'm well aware of for sure. He does not get offended by nothing. So today we learned that your biggest passion is sports washing and money and numbers and potentially going to prom this year. Do you have any last words, like, bits of advice, things that you would say to anybody else who was watching and just maybe to learn from you a little bit?
For people in school who aren't seniors, it only gets worse the workload. And for the seniors that I know and have gone through school with, I very much enjoy knowing. I hope I know you out of school when it's over.